Simply Tammy.
It's a blessing that I'm here, I'm alive. No, I never ever have to cry, cause it's something I know will always work for me on my side. Not a thing I even have to fight, All things work together for my good. Life speaks if you listen, it might be sound. Watch the love come alive. Sharing the truth that inspires, Sharing the truth that inspires, Sharing the truth that inspires. All things work together for my good. Life speaks if you listen, it might be sound. Watch the joy come alive, watch the joy come alive. Sharing the truth that inspires.
Inspired to love, inspired to grow, inspired to heal, inspired to live. Simply Tammy.
Hello, welcome back for another episode of the Simply Tammy Show. I am your host, Simply Tammy, and I am grateful that you have joined me for another episode. So you know we like to do different segments on our show. Life Speaks and The Beat Lives On, and one of my favorites is Great Grace, where I get to sit down with married couples who get to share their stories, their journey of their lasting love in Christian marriages. And I am excited about the couple that I have with me today. They are pastors of a thriving, successful ministry in the upstate of South Carolina. They do business together. They have been married for 23 years. And from their bio, it says that they are dedicated to equipping believers, restoring families, and igniting revival across generations. We've been able to hear from her in previous interviews, but now we get to see her spouse, her partner, the one that God has blessed her with. So welcome to the Simply Tammy Show, Pastors Trey and Angie Cleveland. Hello, hello.
Hey.
Thank you guys for joining me. Pastor Angie, you're no stranger here. Round 3 for you. She's been with me virtually with Women Who Win, and we did the Women Who Win, Where Are They Now? Mm-hmm. And I wanted to invite her husband in to share their love story with us because, you know, we've seen, unfortunately, the downfall of so many Christian marriages here in recent years. So I love to be able to bring some examples that, you know, share. It hasn't always been easy, but it's been worth the journey. So the initial question that we always like to ask couples is, how did you guys meet? Now, is there a his story and a her story, or is there one real story on how we met?
Of course, every coin has 3 sides.
It's about 3. Right?
Yeah, 3 sides, right?
Okay.
We always forget about the round side. Mm-hmm. But no, first of all, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to sit down and talk with you guys.
You're welcome.
So we were at the University of South Carolina, Spartanburg then.
At the time,
yes,
that's true.
Upstate.
Yeah.
And I was managing a female singing group.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we had 3 people in the group, and we were looking for one more.
Yeah.
So we could have like a lead singer and a 3-part harmony. So,
okay.
So we were working on that, and one of the young ladies was like, "Yeah, my cousin's coming to college this year." Mm-hmm. And so I was like, "Okay, yeah." And she, you know, she sings and she plays, and I'm like, "We'll see." You know,
like I can't take your word
right?
for it.
No, you know, and then you know, so I actually tracked her down.
Yeah, stayed on campus.
Found her, and I was like, so when I knocked on the door.
So the cousin let you know where she was on campus.
Well, yeah. I don't know if she knew. I've tracked that. We had back then. You can type into the system and find anybody.
Okay, so you had a name and you just went searching. Okay.
Yep. So I found her.
Oh,
and when I got to the door, she gave me a funny little look, like,
Yeah, he looked familiar. Now, to him, his perspective was like, what is wrong with this girl?
No, she just looked like.
But he looked like someone that I had seen before, so I was just trying to recollect where that was.
Okay.
So that was our first interaction. But we ended up going to the recital hall.
Yeah. So I was like, well, let me hear you. Let me see, you know.
Were you even interested in being part of the group, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I loved music. I grew up in music. My parents were a part of a group, and, you know, music has always been a love for me. And so when you talk about singing gospel music and being a part of a group, I was like, sure, I'll try and see where it lands.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we went to the recital hall, and which is HPAC,
Yep.
the HPAC building.
Yep.
And I ended up playing and singing Joyful, Joyful, Lauryn Hill's version of it.
Okay.
She started playing, and I was like, oh, she was serious. She can play and sing.
Right.
That's awesome. You know, so we did, you know, with the whole group, it had that, and you know, and she cute, but and but I was all business.
Okay.
And then the group broke up,
Yeah.
and then it didn't have to be business for the group no more. So then we could talk. So that's how that was.
So the group breakup was your ticket.
Yeah.
So you were already admiring her, but you wanted to keep it professional.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
100% professional.
Okay. And were you having any feelings for him during this time?
Yeah, I liked how I felt around him. He is a very adventurous person, very just, and I can be a little bit too safe,
Okay.
you know. And so we were great friends for a long time before it became. You know, before we became an item. I really don't know specifically when that date was when we became an item, but it was just kind of an organic turn, you know what I'm saying?
I know where it was.
Oh, yeah?
First date was Mr. Geddes.
Well, yeah, that was our first
Mr.
date.
Geddes.
So was it, how long after the group disbanded did you ask her out on a date? Was it like an immediate, or did you?
It was maybe a couple months, maybe.
Yeah,
'cause we
I
were
would
just
say,
hanging out. We
yeah.
just kept hanging out. After the
Okay.
group disbanded, we kept hanging out. And it was like, okay, so yeah, I like the way this feels too.
Yeah.
Okay.
We spent a lot of time in the studio making music together, but
Yeah.
we also went to the movies together. Like, it was just a good balance of that.
Okay. Okay. So then was there a time in that journey for you, Pastor Trey, that God said, this is your wife? Or was it for you, Pastor, that God said, this is your husband? Was that even on the radar for you since you guys were in college at the time?
Yeah, so it took me a while, which I'm grateful that Angie heard the Lord and followed his instructions. Because the look she gave me, she didn't say why.
Right.
Well, I'll let you say why.
So after I was trying to figure out where I saw him from, because the Lord deals with me in dreams. So I had a dream about him months before I met him in person, but we were at the altar.
Right.
And so,
Wait a minute, wait a minute. At the altar, like about to say I do at the
absolutely.
altar? Wow.
Yeah, and so that's how vivid a lot of my dreams are. God speaks to me prophetically in dreams a lot of times. And so I'm trying to figure out, did I go to a church service? Did we see each other at a revival? Like, what? And so it was like months after we were spending time where the Holy Spirit revealed to me, like, you dreamed about this person. And my heart dropped.
Wow.
And I was like, now, Lord, I know you ain't have me just meet my husband like this, not this, you know, but I did not tell him.
No.
I did not tell him that because, for one, I was scared as I don't know what, you know, and so, but I did not share that with you. And that's...
Which was wise. Because if she had came up and said, I saw you in my dream. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good, Lord.
So, but for me, you know, I had received a call to minister.
Yeah.
And I had, you know, went to my pastor, made the proclamation, and did all of that. And then I had to go through like a catechism.
Yeah, the testing.
And all of that. So she began to help me prepare, and she positioned herself to help push me in the thing of God.
Wow.
And so now she was cute, she was fun, and she loved the Lord and wanted to push me in that. And I was like, okay, Lord, this is it.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was like, yes, this is it.
Okay, so how long was your journey of dating, being engaged before you guys got married? Because you've been married 23 years. So how long was your dating and engaged period?
We were engaged for a year, but the dating prior to that was, I would say, about the same time.
Yeah, so about 2 years total.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a long drawn out process. Okay.
Yeah, even though that engagement felt like forever for a year.
It did.
But it wasn't that long.
You were ready.
Yeah.
Once God said go, you ready to go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so another thing that I have found intriguing, I've heard married couples say that I've been able to interview, and even just in watching some other interviews, that, you know, we've been married 23 years, but it wasn't until year 10 that we became one. It wasn't until year 15. So the process of becoming one, you know, you have little Angie meeting little Trey, and then, you know, we love each other. We're excited. We make beautiful music together. Then we say I do. Is the music still beautiful?
Right. Absolutely.
What was the process of dying to the individuality and becoming a strong union?
Lord.
Look, let me tell you, that is that is infinity. I feel like it continues year after year, growing closer. Yeah, which is a good thing. But when we first started, we got hit with what we call the three things every marriage will face.
Yes.
So you get hit with family issues, you get hit with financial issues, and you get hit with intercourse. Those are the three things.
Intimacy issues.
Intimacy. So I felt like, you know, the Lord allowed us to identify those things and be able to navigate them so that we could help others navigate those things as they get married. But I would say that was, man, it was some journeying.
Yeah, because, I mean, both of us came from divorced homes, too.
Wow. Okay.
So we had a lot of stuff that we brought into our marriage. I would say, because when we started pastoring, babe, we were in year 5 of our marriage.
Yeah, I remember you saying that in your previous interview. 5 years in, which is still a fairly new marriage.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You now add a whole congregation.
A whole one.
Right.
Yes.
To this dynamic, and you're still learning each other, but now you're having to learn a number of other people.
Yes.
So, you know, I remember you saying in your previous interview that the church is Christ's bride, not the ministry is the bride of Christ, not yours. So that's one thing that you guys had to adopt to keep balancing your home and keep your focus on each other. But was that immediate when you start pastoring, or was that something you guys had to learn along your journey? Because it's easy to give yourself to everything else outside of your home.
Yes.
We learned
that.
We learned that.
Yeah. We started, we didn't really have date nights until we were well into pastoring, because we was always at the church.
Always.
All the time.
We needed
all the dates were at the church.
Yes. It's not a Saints and Friends. Conferences is not a date.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Prayer meetings.
Convocation is not a date.
It's not a date.
It's not a date.
And so, you know, we went on our vacation, and all we talked about was the church.
Oh, wow.
All we talked about was music ministry. And we both looked at each other and said, you know, this is not good.
Right.
This is not good. We need to establish an intentional date time. And that's how I believe we kind of got the ball rolling into becoming more one with each other.
Yeah.
You know, is to develop time to talk to each other about each other, not about what all we're involved in, but about each other. How are you? How was your week? You know, how can I pour into you more this week? You know what I'm saying? What is my balance inquiry? Did I pour into you enough this week? Do you feel loved this week? Did you feel, you know, ignored this week? You know, so that's our check-ins that we still do to the day to this day.
So you mentioned, Pastor Trey, that you guys were hit early on in the area of finances, intimacy, and family. And I think, you know, one of the things that I've often thought with myself, you know, being brought up in a single parent home, you don't always have an example of, you know, who's going to show you what a healthy marriage looks like, or who are you going to go to be mentored or to be counseled, you know, with biblical wise counsel, but some practical counseling as well. So was that an immediate part of your journey as a couple when you guys reached these hurdles in those areas? Was wise counsel readily available, or were you guys stumbling into a situation until you're like, we got to get some help?
Yeah, I think it was discovery. A lot of it was, you know, feeling around in the dark.
Walk by faith.
Tried to find some conferences and find some, you know, find help from conferences and different seminars and different things. And some of them was good, and some of them take you backwards. Some of the stuff was, you know, not productive. But it was a discovery. I would say we really had to feel around for it.
And I would also say that it's not that we did not want wise counsel, or that we didn't necessarily, I don't even know if we just had the language to explain what we were going through, or to know what we were battling or facing. Because I mean, we had our own individual stuff that we brought into the marriage, and then we had our collective fights that we were fighting through, and it was just overwhelming.
And then like you said, you know, both our parents had been divorced, so it wasn't like, it just had different things. It was, and I think the pastor at the time, he was single. So, I mean, he had never been married. So it was like just a lot of different,
a lot of dynamics. So coming from a divorced home, did that leave a bad taste in your mouth for marriage? Or did it show you what to do differently, and you still desire what God had planned for your life?
Yeah, I desired what God planned, but I also knew the risks of past pain being vicariously lived out through me. In other words, you know, we can, for instance, because of our own experiences, we can expect that our kids are going to go through the exact same thing that we've gone through. So, you know, it was that dynamic that we had to navigate through. You know, with my mom, and, you know, she's incredible now. You know, she's healed a lot, and God has done a lot of things in her life. We just had a lot of adjustments that we had to make, you know, with me marrying, and I was her world, and, you know, I don't want you to hurt. Child? Yes, Lord.
So he was taking her everything.
That was the perspective. That was the perspective.
So he wasn't an addition to her life. You came in as a thief almost.
That's right. Absolutely. That was the perspective that we had to adjust through. And so, we needed the Lord through that.
But now that's my girl.
Now y'all are inseparable.
How my son doing? So but
isn't it beautiful how God has a way of changing hearts and touching hearts when we just trust Him through the process? And you know, all of us have our own healing journey. So your union probably was part of ushering in your mom's healing journey for whatever you know had her feeling that way. And now God, she's been able to see the blessing of the Lord in that. What about you, Pastor Trey, with coming from a divorce home as well?
Yeah, it didn't deter me. I think it was like what you said, the exact opposite. It was like, okay, I know this is what God wants for me. Yeah. And now there's some things that I can see that I can avoid, that I don't have to do it this way. I don't have to do it that way. It may have even encouraged through challenging times to just keep pressing, because I know what the separation feels like. I know what that is. And so instead of separating, drawing closer. And so, it kind of encouraged me to draw closer.
I love that. So coming from, of course, two individuals, what was it that you individually each brought into the marriage that was like the biggest sacrifice of you had to unlearn, leave that as part of who you were single, maybe, sometimes as women, we like to go and shop when we want to shop, and we got to ask nobody, can we go shop, or, go, or, what were there things, of course, there's always things that what was the biggest challenge of like, God, I got to give this up to be one?
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot of things, but I think one of the first things I noticed when I noticed we had just got married, and I noticed something was different, because like in our house we would leave the door unlocked. And
in the house you grew up in?
Yeah.
Oh, you must grew up in the country.
We was in the country.
Oh, okay.
We was in the country.
Right.
We was in the country.
Okay.
And you could just turn around, and my friend would be like walking up the stairs.
Yeah.
So we got married, and we moved in the little house we was in, and my friend like called, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm outside." And I'm like, "Come on in."
Oh, and you're married now?
Yeah. And Angie was like,
yeah.
She looked at me, and so we had to have the discussion. So just the whole lifestyle of the whatever I'm used to.
Yeah.
I can't just go off of what I'm used to. I have to check that I'm not just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was an adjustment.
Yeah, I think one of the things for me that I had to adjust to is because when my parents divorced, I was 3.
Oh, wow.
So from 3 years old until the time I got married, I saw my mom be independent. Mom is doing all the stuff. I mean, all the things. Like she go outside, cut grass, trim hedges. She loves doing that. And I just grew up with this sort of independence.
Yeah.
And so when we got married, I wasn't used to nobody opening doors for me. I opened my own door. And it's not that I was being defiant.
Right.
It was just what I was just used to.
Yeah.
I was just used to just doing.
Yeah.
I carry my own stuff. I was just used to that. And so I had to learn how to allow him to lead. Allow him to open doors. I have to wait on that, you know what I'm saying, and not rush into. That's something I had to learn how to do, and so I think that's one of the sacrifices I had to learn early on.
Yes. So I like to kind of, and we've kind of touched on these without pointing them out, but just I like to focus on when I'm talking to married couples, how you discover your purpose, your passion, and your pain points in your marriage. And I know, from the previous interview, you said, I think a year into your marriage, you released your first recorded project, and 5 years in, you guys started pastoring, and music was part of your journey early on because you guys met through music. But the ministry portion, did you know that you guys were going to do ministry together? Was it an easy yes to say, oh, he wants to be a pastor, I'm down, let's go?
No.
And no.
No and no.
We didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. So I went into the ministry, and we had gotten married. And then a year later, after I had went into ministry, Angie had felt the call to go as well.
It was a long time I had ran from that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it was an adjustment to try to,
Yeah.
okay. And so to mesh that together and to figure out how God wanted us to walk together.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful journey, but it was also like, you know, missteps and just figuring it out. And it's like, oh, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. And so, yeah.
Yeah, it's I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's like with each person, there's a specific anointing that's on your life. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, learning him, learning his, you know, the way he revelates and just the illustration of scripture to where the verses come alive. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't me, Lord. I don't illustrate like that.
That's because you have the gift of communication. You communicate. You can say something and people see it. You have a way of phrasing things. So
learning our own place.
Yeah, your own strength.
Our own strengths. And then finding out, okay, how can we complement each other to come together as one in that?
Yeah.
But I would say that both of us are really very strongly passionate about family and relationships and the purpose of family relationships in that.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I now, you know, up to this point, we're jailed where we teach together.
Yeah.
Every Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, standing up side by side.
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday.
Wow.
This started as of the pandemic, because it used to be just him or just me. But during the pandemic, we were just all pivoting, trying to find out how to serve the people through that time. And we just kind of, it was not even talked about. We just kind of shouldered the load together, and we just said, you know, let's both teach together, let's both, you know, serve together. And we hadn't stopped since.
No, it's just been kept right on going.
We just kept doing it.
Wow. So does that look like, you know, God gives you a topic and he confirms it with you, or you just kind of, okay, well, this is what we're going to teach. You prep together, or do you guys just get up and it flows, or is there a process to how that works for you?
Yeah, it's so beautiful because communication is like one of the glues or binders of a relationship.
Yeah.
And so even with the ministry and the teaching, the communication and working together throughout the week, hearing and saying, this is what I'm hearing the Lord say, and then it's confirmation, and then we discuss it and talk about it, and then we put it together. It's made us closer, you know, even as a couple, you know, as well. So yeah,
it's a little bit of him saying, you know, this is what I'm hearing, or I'll say, this is the direction. What do you know, this is what I'm feeling a tug on. What are you thinking? You know, and then throughout the week, we'll talk through some of the revelation that we've been hearing. And then on Saturday night, we compile it together. But on Sunday mornings, it's not really rigid at all. It's a flow. You know what I'm saying? We kind of know each other. And it's like when he get in a vein, you know, he let the Lord just take. I'm like, go ahead. I'm gonna stand right up here and be your armor bearer. You know, and then there are times, you know, when the Holy Spirit will just give a strong flow, you know, on my end as well. And you know, we just feel each other, but it's not really rigid at all. It's organic, and it's seeing where the Lord how he wants to serve that word, you know what I'm saying? But it's talking throughout the week and getting up together on Sunday.
Yes. So looking over the 23 years, when I look at or think about longevity in relationships in general, transition is another word that I talk a lot about. And, you know, unfortunately, people don't always transition well in relationships.
Wow.
You know, you guys were college students when you met, and life has happened, you know, things within the marriage, outside the marriage, you know, family, be it, you know, laws, transition, you know, and family may be moving, you know, all kind of things that we experience, you know, job changes, And sometimes that causes people to grow apart instead of growing together. So when you look at 23 years and you think about great grace, how has grace allowed you continue to grow together and not apart? Because the two of you look at each other like y'all just met. Y'all have a gaze that says, I very much like you and love you. And I love just sitting here watching you exchange with each other. It's, y'all look at each other like, oh, he's the cutest guy in the room and she's the finest girl in the room. So it still feels and looks very fresh, but it's 23 years in the making. So how has grace and your personal growth played a part in what we're witnessing?
Wow.
You know, every day we are full with opportunity to choose.
Yeah.
And to wake up and choose the person that you chose 23 years ago, you have the same ability to choose this day.
Yeah.
And just growing up together allows you to see how majestic God is in your spouse. Like, it's amazing. So I don't know. I've always been awestruck. So 23 years of being awestruck.
Yeah, because I'm gonna let y'all in on something. When I was interviewing Pastor Angie by herself, Pastor Trey was in the room and he was just over there just beaming and agreeing. I think if he could have said an amen or two or clapped, he would have, but he was trying to be good for the camera. But he definitely is her biggest cheerleader.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I really am awestruck at what God does through her. And just who she is, like, at home. Like, not just on a platform. Because, I mean, what you get out there is the same thing that's at the house. I hear people's names being called out in prayer, you know, Saturday night for Sunday morning services. Like, all over the country. Like, people in Texas, I hear names and people that we know, and she calls them out. They don't know that she's calling them out. But I hear and see and watch what she does. And her consistency is absolutely amazing. So
I love that.
To be trusted with one of God's sons is amazing. So I've learned to, you know, it's easy to be connected with somebody in the summer and spring seasons of their life.
Yes.
But the winter and fall, to be able to still see your push for God and your pursuit after God's purpose, even when there's, you know, uncomfortable seasons, when there's challenges, you know what I'm saying? To continue to, you know, to continue to have those 11:30 p.m., 12 midnight revelations. You know, babe, the Lord told me. And I'm like, let me sit down because it's about to be revival at midnight. You know, his hunger for God, his pursuit after the way God wants it done, your pursuit for just that, I mean, even the outside of the box thinking that you have, you're not limited and you never lived like it. And so, you know, sometimes that can scare me because I'm like, woo, capacity, help me, Lord, to have it, to accommodate how you see, you know what I'm saying? But great grace to me when it comes to our relationship is to navigate all 4 seasons of our lives together and to trust God's ability to make us closer through every season. What lesson do I learn in the winter months of life? What lesson do I learn in the spring? You know, what have I learned about you in the winter that I didn't know before? And how can I better support you as your helpmeet in that? And so that's what I would consider great grace as well in our relationship.
I'd also like to say, whatever you see a challenge in your partner or your spouse, because I say see a challenge because it might not be their challenge, it could still be you. You have to recognize that there are challenges that they see in you.
Yes.
And so to give that grace, you know, instead of just, you know, well, you don't wash the dishes this way or you don't.
Right.
You don't
but-
fold the towels.
Yeah. So I think the first thing I think of is, what am I in a deficit in that she may want or need, and I'm able to give that grace.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
So yeah. So and that's how I just continue to be able to give grace, because you need grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I titled the segment Great Grace because when you talk about being with someone, been married 23 years, but together, I guess 25 with the dating, and it takes grace through those seasons, through every season. Even the summer and spring, because some people are married to people who are not excited about how they bloom and blossom in the summer and spring. So it takes grace to, for lack of a better term, play your part. You know,
Yes.
sometimes you're the cheerleader and the supporter. You may not be the co-laborer this time. You're just the person that, let me carry your water, or let me
Yes.
show up and cheer the loudest for you. But you know that you always have someone in your corner. And
That's good.
everybody has not been able to navigate that, because if we can't both shine, it's not going to be any shine.
That's
And,
good.
when you both have a calling of leadership and ministry, to be able to balance that to where nobody feels neglected, and we know that we are true co-laborers, that's a beautiful thing. That really is a beautiful thing. And we've already talked about, you highlighted pain points as far as finances, family. And so over the 23 years, was there one mountain of a pain point that stuck out that was like, if we don't grab hold to each other, this could be the thing that would try to tear us apart? Well, has there been one thing? We're in studio, background noise. It happens.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep going.
There were a few of them
Yeah.
that we still had to choose.
And if there's,
each other.
just whatever you might be comfortable sharing, just one.
I'm gonna let you lead off on one.
Man. So I'll share surface level with this one. To be able to know that my value as a woman is not based on if I carry children or not.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's one of the pain points that was strong to navigate through, that we had to lock in and really trust God for Him to reaffirm our value and reaffirm my value and worth.
Ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would say that's one of the pain points that we push through together on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
thank you for sharing that. I don't think, I think it's becoming a lot more vocal now, but for years, a lot of women have been silent, and husbands as well. You guys, I believe, know the Dillards, Tanika and Kristen.
Yeah.
I've had the privilege of interviewing Tanika, and she mentioned, and I've interviewed her twice, and she mentioned in the last interview about how, people don't think about the husband has a feeling of pain and loss too when
Yes.
the wife is experiencing the loss of a child. It was not just her child. So I actually had an opportunity to sit down and interview him and get to hear his perspective, because it does become one-sided.
Yes.
It's not just my goal, my vision, my desire. When you become one, it becomes
Yes.
ours.
Yes.
And however we accomplish it, we have to be in agreement that we're either okay with this or we're gonna pivot or pursue something different. So thank you for sharing that. And the will of God is beautiful, and however He chooses to carry out and manifest what He does. You were getting
Yeah.
So, and also, ladies, if the man doesn't respond as emotionally, sometimes it's because he just wants to be strong for her, but the emotional level inside is just as potent.
Yes.
It's just as strong. So,
Yes.
so yeah, they may not respond because they want to be the foundation. They want to be the pillar that holds it up. But yeah, it definitely is. It's strong.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So one of my staple questions that I ask couples, because in the 80s, this song ripped through all of our radios and on our TVs, and it asks the question, what's love got to do with it? And you in this day and age of social media, you hear people that say, they don't marry for love, it's a business to them, or you grow in love, you might not love the person at first. So when you think about marriage, when you think about your 23 years, when you think about Christian marriages as a whole, when considering the Clevelands, what's love got to do with it?
So what I've learned is love is a choice in and of itself. You cannot express love without choice. So even God, when he created us, he gave us the ability to choose, because when we choose him, that's an expression of love. If he made us robots and we couldn't choose him, then we would just be serving but wouldn't be able to show love. And so a mother that has a child, the child can express love while they need the mother. But when they no longer need the mother and they choose her, that's an expression of love. So love has everything to do with it, but it may not be I guess denotated how we normally think of love, goosebumps and chills, but every day is a choice, and that choice says love.
I love that.
That's good. Love is sacrifice. And marriage, Christian marriage, is designed to be an example of God's relationship with his bride, Jesus's bride, which is the church. And so sacrificing, that sacrifice and that choosing, like you're saying, being able to, that's a miracle in and of itself, is to take two people from two different perspectives and walks of life, coming together as one and trusting God to merge you in heart, merge you in perspective, merge you in spirit. That is the miracle. And it takes the Holy Spirit to do that. So love is sacrifice, and that's how I see that as well.
Yes. So what's next for the Clevelands? Do you guys have anything coming up? I know you have. Is it still called the Habakkuk II Institute? Your Purpose? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything coming up with the church, with the ministry that you want to share, as well as how can they connect with or follow you?
Yeah, so there's several things coming. In 2026, we are going to have a gala. This is our second gala.
Yes.
Okay.
A Community Excellence Gala.
Okay.
So we're going to celebrate community and people who are striving to make the community better. And we're going to come together and celebrate it in a great fashion.
Okay.
So that's going to be in October. So I'm putting that out there now.
Plenty of time.
People got time to get yourself together, get your outfit, your fit, whatever, and get that together. But that's something that's been on my heart for a while, and we are now making it come to pass. So I'm kind of excited about it.
Okay.
Music wise, we are working on a melodic medicine.
Yes.
That has the last one that we actually came together. We're getting ready to release that.
Okay.
So that's going to be in a month or two. So we're
so you're actually going to put that out as a recording for.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
So we're excited about that. And just been so much going on. We got to get back and just finish it. Finish letting it go. But that's going to be coming out soon, and I'm excited about that.
And there's also some marriage stuff that we're working on.
Yes, please share that.
We absolutely love talking marriage, all things relationships. The last couple of years, we were able to do what we call a marriage wholeness journey. And it's taking couples through 4 weeks of training on how to become more one with each other.
I love it.
You know, we talk spiritual intimacy. We talk, you know, how to be a safe place for each other to land when it comes to each other dealing with their own traumas and, you know, all these kinds of things. And so we've done the journeys in the past. We are working now on plans to for our marriage ministry to take, you know, go further into deeper depths with traveling. And, you know, we have some stuff some retreats and different things that we're trying to plan. So it's in the works. It's in the works.
I love that. I love that. You can definitely tell just by the way you guys talk about it that definitely is an area of passion for you as well. So do you guys currently offer counseling or therapy for couples in your ministry and or outside the ministry?
We do.
Okay.
We offer premarital counseling. That is a four session bundle.
Okay.
So premarital counseling as well as marriage counseling.
Okay.
To maintain the health and the wellness of a marriage. We've done pre-engagement counseling too.
Okay.
So for people who are dating seriously and they are thinking about, you know, taking the next step, you know, we take them through some classes, or not classes, but through some sessions on helping them to prepare better.
And they can look to, you know, work through some challenges. Some people that are already married, but, you know, just like a car, we don't wait to get the oil change once the engine starts breaking down.
Most people don't.
Most people don't. You shouldn't.
If you're a good steward, you know.
Right.
Because then it's going to cost you a lot more.
Yes.
And it's the same. It's the same way with you know, relationships and fixing them. If we have tune-ups, then it's a lot easier. But it costs you a lot more emotionally when you wait for it to break down to then get a maintenance person to look at it and help you work through some things. So, you know, just because somebody's in counseling doesn't mean that their relationship is on the rocks.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And counseling as a whole, you know, I talked to Pastor Angie about therapy in her interview. You know, people think, especially in our community, they shy away from counseling and therapy because nothing's wrong with me. Well, that's why you know, it's been a few years ago now where we've always equated mental health with mental illness. No, you focus on your mental health so you don't fall into mental illness. That's the same way you go get your physicals and all the checkups. So there are things that we need to do for our mental, and counseling and therapy is one of those. You go because nothing is wrong, but you don't want anything to be wrong. You don't want to wait until something's wrong. So being able to remove the stigma that counseling and therapy is not because something is wrong. We go to counseling and therapy because we want to keep it right.
I just got up and ran. But since I'm a guest, I ran without running.
You ran without running.
Absolutely.
That was good.
Absolutely. That was.
Yes. So how can we follow you, connect with you? I believe your church may have. Do you have a Facebook, a YouTube or Facebook for your church? How can we connect with the church and then you guys individually?
She knows the handles.
You tell mine.
She got handles.
YouTube is Faith to Faith, Glory to Glory Media. You can also find on Facebook, Faith to Faith, Glory to Glory Church. Okay. And we're on Facebook as well as on Instagram. And our church website is f2fg2gm.com. So that's how you can find us there.
Okay. And then you guys have a page, right, together?
And we have a website together.
Okay.
𝘓𝘢𝘴𝘵𝘎𝘓𝑉𝘓𝐺𝐺𝑐leveland.com.
Okay. And is that, so for like counseling, your counseling services, is that through the William Angie Cleveland page?
They can book through there too.
Okay.
It's an external link, but you can get there through that website.
Okay. Okay, good, good. So our final fun question that we ask all of our guests, and married couples have to collaborate on this one, unless you feel like you have two different ones, we'll take two different ones. If you guys had to name a song that defines this season of your life, what would your song be?
Lord have mercy. You got one?
Well, okay, so you might not, but mine, because one of my favorite people that sang, so mine is Other Side of This.
Oh.
And who would that happen to be by?
It might be somebody that I know.
It might be somebody in the room,
It might be
on the
somebody
couch.
in the room.
I don't have a project out. So.
But I feel like this season, we actually have broken through to another side.
Come on now, we have.
I feel like we have. You know, us personally,
Yeah.
I feel like in our relationship, even though it was well, it's like a whole nother a gear. It's like a whole other gear.
Another acceleration.
Yeah,
almost.
I feel like there's a breakthrough, but I feel like there's a breakthrough for a lot of people in this season. I really feel like that song was prophetic, and now we're sitting on the other side of the song. Yeah, so that's mine.
I don't know if I can top that, honey. I totally agree. It's a lot of newness that is taking place, but you know, the other side of this, it doesn't have to just be that you're coming from a dark place to a light place. It could also mean that God is elevating you for greater responsibility.
Yes.
So you are learning how to manage the more.
Yes. Yes.
So that's another part of that for me.
Good to great.
From good to great.
Yeah.
Or if we want to say it wrong, we're like from good to gooder.
To good to gooder.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. This has been so delightful. Like, I don't know if you guys realize how y'all look at each other, but it's a whole situation with your gaze and your admiration. And I pray God's continued blessing, that he continues to strengthen that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, locked in so solid that nothing but good can penetrate. And that the shield of his grace is already surrounding your marriage for everything that the enemy intended. Because just your gaze and the way you guys interact with each other is a testimony. It's so beautiful just to watch. So thank you guys for saying yes. Thank you for coming to sit with me, your time, your sacrifice. This has been such a blessing.
Wow.
Such a blessing.
For us too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your platform with so many people and giving an avenue for God's word to get out to the people through real life.
Yes.
Letting life speak.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so thank you.
Yes. I was telling Christopher Dillon when he and I were talking, because, you know, he does some podcasting as well. You know, it's so many of us have stories and testimonies that can help one another, but we don't sit down and have these conversations and allow space to share. So as long as God allows me to do it and makes provision for me to do so, I'm going to do it, because it's so many of us need to hear what so many have to say, but nobody's asking the questions and talking to get those stories out. So thank you again.
Thank you.
You guys make sure to go follow their pages. All of that information that they shared was up on the screen. Websites, Facebook pages, connect with them. They are a tremendous blessing to the upstate. I've been able to be in their spaces countless times over the years and have always blessed by their presence, and honored that they would say yes to come in here and sit down with me. So thank you guys again. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Stay connected. We love to continue to bring these conversations in front of you. And until next time.
So we have been asked the question, what is a good piece of advice that we would give for couples?
So many go through my mind. What's yours?
So we talk about the love bank a lot. And we talk about love languages. Y'all, there's a book called His Needs and Her Needs by, I think it's William Harley. Very good read.
Really
but he talks about the concept of a love bank. And we took that concept and went a step further. So we compared it or compiled it with the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman. So everybody has their own love language, and it's easy for us to speak the language to our spouse that we're most comfortable speaking, but it may not be the language they're used to receiving love from.
Yeah, a lot of times when we first get together, we try to speak every language. We speak, quality time, we give gifts, and then when life starts lifing and we get comfortable with each other, we then begin to revert to our own language. But we need to find out what their language is so that we can maximize the efficiency of giving in their language. So
yeah, that's good. And whenever we speak the language that we're not used to speaking, that our spouse is able to receive love better from, it's okay if you start off speaking very little. Just like a baby, when they come out the womb, they don't come out speaking whole sentences, right? They start off speaking, they coo and they cry at first, and then when they get older, they start saying, small words, and then, as they get older, they start increasing their language. So we're learning how to do the same, even when it comes to speaking the language of our spouse. And the other, reward your spouse for having the effort to speak your language.
Celebrate the effort.
Yeah.
Not every effort will come across perfectly, but celebrate the effort, the thought that was behind the action.
Yeah. So I think that's a good piece of advice that we've learned, and we're still learning over the years. I think we do, on our date nights, we'll do a question like, what's my balance inquiry? Am I sowing enough into your love bank with your love language? So that's something that we recommend for you guys to try out soon.